Hi, good evening to all of you. I've just got now through seeing John McCain's speech for speech to the Republican convention. However, unfortunately, I see a lot of gullible people supporting him and Palin. I mean, if anybody really believes a word that came out from McCain, they've got to be gullible and ignorant of history and economics and even of what is truly affecting in the field of education. I counted no less than 40 something mistakes that McCain mentioned, or signs of hypocrisy. But before I start that, let me just mention all this Republican National Convention, to tell you the truth, it's been nothing but bragging. All the bragging that these people have been doing about their role in politics, and it's distasteful. Just that alone turned me off the Republicans for that fact. Whether or not, okay, maybe Cindy McCain did do those works of mercy, fine. But the fact that she's all there talking about it makes the value of it all be lost. Don't talk to me about humility if you're going to be bragging about what you do for justice. It is ridiculous. You are, if you look at it religiously, it just says, "Do not let your left hand know what your right hand does." And on a more respectable manner, it is distasteful. It's all full of being conceited. And honestly, I'm a strong believer of a saying that says, "Show me what you brag about, and I'll show you what you lack." The more you brag about your activities, Cindy, the less I believe you, and the more unsincere you are. With all this talk about your works of mercy, you going into Thailand, into Zaire, and all these countries, really, and now I'm doubting you. I'm sorry, I don't. You are not humble enough. And you also say you recommend your husband for it. Well, love is blind. Of course, you're gonna think your husband is more appropriate for the Oval Office. But you know what? As I said, love is blind. Now, let's get back to my mistakes about John McCain. They're in no particular order, and they're all covering the full speech. Let's begin. To begin with, his speech started with a slideshow talking about his father's role in Vietnam. Who is this campaign for? Are we campaigning for McCain or for his father? Give me a break. Then we hear about talk about Bush keeping us safe. Ha ha ha! You believe that? You must be the most gullible person on the planet. A fact that has been hidden by the Republicans on purpose was that Bush had a very good chance of preventing 9/11, and he didn't. May 11th, 2001, the plans of bin Laden to bomb the terrorist towers were already known by intelligence officers. However, Bush's administration, oh, and also the intelligence officers already knew where bin Laden was hiding and were ready to move in. When Bush's administration just told the military to lay low. The consequence of it, 4 months later, our people died. Don't tell me Bush kept our country safe when their inactivity and their not wanting to take Bin Laden when they had a chance was a reason why the bomb, why 9/11 what happened in the first place. And don't tell me that after 9/11 the country's been safer. Saying that is like saying that this set of keys keeps me safe from lions because there's no lions here in my house. How ridiculous. The country is not any safer. Actually, there's more of a threat because with all the time that was spent in Iraq, we could have done something about Iran or North Korea, which are real terrorist nations. We don't tell me anything about keeping this country safe because this year we chose to participate in the Olympics in a country that harbors terrorism such as China. If this country was really serious about keeping its borders safe, we would have boycotted those Olympics in China. How ridiculous all your gullible talks are. Don't tell me about straight talk, because as I'm going to prove with this video, there is no straight talk with McCain. Now, Senator John McCain mentioned that the government is for the people and for prosperity. The Republicans do not show any area in that. Prosperity, yeah, for those who already have it, for those who are wealthy. But for the vast majority of people, not really so. And I don't believe they talk about Sarah Palin being a regular Jane. I don't think so. Now, obvious, and as I'm going to continually keep repeating in this video, he is not for the regular American who's losing their houses. A few days back, they asked him what he would do about the housing crisis. He said he would not intervene. That means he is in favor of the corruption that took place in the real estate, in the business of real estate loans. Were he really for the American people, he would intervene and establish some laws that would make it illegal for real estate lenders to lie to the people in such a way that happened. McCain said in his speech that we need to stop yelling at each other and do something about it. Yeah, then why are his campaigns and those of his running mate, Ms. Pale, why are they launching all these mudslinging campaigns? It is clear to me, one thing is clear to me. If you mudsling, it's because you don't have any clear ideas of what you're going to be doing for the country in the first place. All these ridiculous attacks on the Democrats makes me doubt that you know what you're doing, to tell you the truth. I'm not fully Democrat, I'm more independent. But I will definitely not be trusting McCain's campaign on this. He said that he feels the pain of all those people who are trying to find a job and put food on the table. Yeah, right. As if a guy who owns as many houses as he does and thinks the poverty line should be marked at 5 million, being able to feel the pain of everybody else, I don't think so. Now, why are people trying to find a job? Because your so-called leader, President George Bush, whom the McCain camp has strongly admired, was the first one to export jobs in the first place. That shows the lack of leadership and the lack of vision that Bush has. So I don't know why you keep saying that you're for the people, if you are all lauding and congratulating the very irresponsible politician who exported our jobs in the first place. That's why